Hi geographers, welcome to your second lesson on place and livability using my place and livability teaching website. Make sure you go ahead and check out the description to find the link for this particular page, the introduction page. And this is your second lesson on your introduction to the unit of place and livability. So your first job in your books is you're going to write down your learning criteria for the lesson. So this is what you need to know by the end of the lesson, and this is what you need to be able to do by the end of the lesson. And you're going to write this in your book as a heading. So you're going to write to know how livability is measured, and you're also going to write to be able to record data and measure livability. So by the end of this lesson, you'll know how livability is measured, and you'll be able to record data and measure livability. So let's have a look at measuring livability. There are a few ways to measure the livability of an area. The Global Livability Report is a report that comes out every year to judge the most and least livable cities in the world. It also shows the biggest improvers and decliners for certain areas as well. Refer to the Global Livability Report below to see how livability is measured. So we're going to explore this in our task together now. So this is your task for the rest of this lesson, and it might take you a couple of lessons as well to complete. So your task is the Global Livability Report data that we've discussed above. So below there are two documents. The first document is a Livability Report worksheet, what you'll complete. You've been assigned to this and you'll be able to glue it in your books as well. And then you've got the Global Livability Report where you get your answers. So you need to collect data from the report, so this document here, to fill out the various tables you've been given in the worksheet, this document here. The purpose of this activity is to teach you about cities that are livable and cities that are not livable and why. So what they're being judged on, what they're being measured on. So we'll scroll down to the two documents here. You can see we've got the worksheet here, what you need to complete. And then we've got the report where you get the answers from. So I'm going to open both of these up using the pop-out tabs, and I'll show you how to complete them. I'm just going to open the worksheet in a Google Doc. Right, so here we've got the report where we get all our answers from. You can see here it's 14 pages. These come out every year. This is for 2017. And here we've got the worksheet. So the first question here is, what are the 5 categories used to measure livability? So this is our to know and to be able to, really. So we want to scroll down to pages 10 and 11 to find the answers for those. Keep scrolling. So we'll look at how livability is measured. So we've got our 5 categories here: stability, healthcare, culture and environment, education and infrastructure. So that's how the livability of these cities is being measured, okay? So that's our answer for number 1. Now we've got a couple of tables to fill out, and I'm going to show you how to do those now. So complete the tables in the topics below. Use the data from the report to fill out each table. In geography, collecting data is an essential skill you need to learn. So the first table we're doing is the top 10 most livable cities for 2017, and it's on page 8. So I'm going to scroll up to page 8 here, and we can see we've got the top 10 most livable cities and the top 10 least livable cities, and we've got some data here. So we've got rank number 1 is Melbourne. So I'm going to go and put in Melbourne. You can see part of the table is already filled out as well. So it's got ranking, overall rating, and stability. Now we're going to chuck in the data for healthcare. So healthcare was 100. Culture and environment was 95.1. Education is 100. And then infrastructure is also 100. So we can see that's pretty high. We'll do Vienna next. So that was ranked at number 2, as we can see here. All right, we've got stability 95, healthcare 100 again. Culture and environment is 94.4. But education is 100, and infrastructure is also 100. I'll do one more with you guys as well. We've got Canada. We've got a city in Canada that was ranked at number 3. It's Vancouver. So I'll go ahead and chuck in Vancouver in there. All right, let's have a look. Vancouver's healthcare is 100. Their culture and environment is 100. Their education is also 100. Then their infrastructure is 92.9. So I'll go ahead and chuck in these 100s. That was a pretty easy one. We've got 92.9. All right, very good. And you continue to fill out that table like that, guys, using this first table here. Let's do the second one, the 10 least livable cities. So we've got the 10 least livable cities here. We've got a city in the Ukraine. We'll start off with that one. So we've got Kiev at the moment. Kiev is not very livable. Let's have a look at why. Overall rating is 47.8. You can see that's a lot lower than Melbourne, Vienna, and Vancouver as well. They're all in the 97s. This is nearly half that. So let's have a look at why. Let's have a look at stability, how stable it is. Stability is only 35. Healthcare is 54.2. Culture and environment, what's it like to live in? 48.6. Education, how many educational opportunities are there for people in Kiev? 75. They've got a 75 for that score. Then their infrastructure is 42.9. So that's the first one. Let's have a look at Cameroon. There's a city in Cameroon, it's Douala. It's got an overall rating of 44. Let's have a look at stability. It's 60. It's a lot more stable than Kiev. There must be less conflict there. Healthcare, we've got 25. There's not a lot of options or facilities for healthcare in Douala. Culture and environment, it's about the same. It's 48.4. Education is much lower than Kiev, 33.3. So you can see there's not a lot of places to receive a quality education in Douala. Or there's not a lot of places for people to go to get an education in Douala. We've got infrastructure, same as Kiev, 42.9. So that's how you fill that out. So you can, by comparing this data, you can see that these cities are much more livable. They're much more stable. They have a lot of more opportunities for healthcare. Their culture and environment is better to live in. It's safer. There's more to do. Their educational options and facilities are much higher. And then their infrastructure, their roads, their buildings is much better than these cities in this table here for various reasons. You've got conflict, you've got famine, you've got economic crisis. So that's why these cities are in the top 10 least livable, and you'll be able to judge them and compare them by filling out all the data in these tables. So that's your job for the first two. Now, we've got the fourth and fifth questions here. We've got now conflict, so wars and things. Now, we've got the top 5 improvers and the top 5 decliners. So this is where conflict in these areas has improved. This is where wars in these places has declined, okay, or some conflict or some civil unrest has declined. So we need to go to page 6 in the report for this data. We can see it here, the 5 biggest improvers over the last 5 years. We can see Tehran. Now it's in the country of Iran. Its rank out of 140 is 127. Its overall livability rating is 50.8. So it's improved. Let's go to the next one, Dubai. What country is Dubai in? It's in the United Arab Emirates. What's its rank? Its rank is 74. So we can see much higher than Tehran. Overall livability rating, let's have a look, 74.7. And then you can see, I'll leave you guys to fill out the rest of those as well. Now I've got the top 5 decliners. This is where these cities, their conflict has actually worsened. And that could be for a variety of reasons as well. So we've got Kiev in the Ukraine again. What's its rank? Its rank is 131 out of 140 of the countries that they assessed. Its overall livability rating is 47.8. I'll do the next one with you guys as well. Damascus. It's in Syria. We know there's been a lot of conflict in Syria over the last few years. Now it's 140. It came last out of all the cities they assessed. It came last. 140 out of 140. Its overall livability rating is 30.2. So that'll be the lowest one in this document here. I'll leave you guys to fill out that table there. Once you've done that, you've finished your activity for this lesson, guys. And by collecting all this data, not only have you fulfilled your to know and to be able to, but you've learned about what cities are judged on to make them livable and what makes cities not very livable. And then you've also got some places around the world that have improved their livability as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, guys. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to stay updated to any of my teaching and learning resources, like this website here. And make sure if you want to stay updated to any videos, you go and subscribe as well.